everyone and fellow classmates. Good morning, everyone, to Ma'am Anna and to my fellow classmates. So today, I am going to continue my report on another kind of alternative delivery modes, the e-impact system. So we're done discussing these first few slides. So this e-impact system is actually an ADM in elementary level. It stands for Enhanced Instructional Management by parents, community, and teachers. It is a quality alternative delivery mode for elementary education, as what I said earlier. It is a technology-enhanced alternative delivery mode that is developed to address high student population and high percentage of dropouts. So as what we have mentioned a while ago, this is on the congestion in classrooms to address that problem. And it is a management system where the parents, teachers, and community collaborate to provide the child with quality education at less cost. So, a collaboration with parents, teachers, community, it takes a whole village to educate a child gayud, no? This ancient African proverb, frankly speaking, is very true. The people our children are around in their everyday lives will affect who our children will grow up to be. And this is geared towards quality and accessibility. Now, what are the principles of this system? First, the children become active participants of the learning process. And this goes the same with the other principles in education, that the child, the learners, must be active and not just passive participants in our classroom. Especially to engage them to heavy discussions or to interactive discussions, no? We have here three primary modes of delivery. First, you have program teaching, and it is a method of presenting new subject matter to students through a graded sequence of controlled steps with corresponding activities. So here, they work at their own speed independently and assess their own comprehension after each step through an exam questions or a filling in a diagram. And the two main methods of learning here is first developed by Norman Crowder, where the instructor includes multiple choice test questions with the text and provides feedback for each of the non-correct alternative options when a student chooses them. And the second was developed by B.F. Skinner, and it includes schedule of reinforcement for activities places in a specific continuous order. The other two primary modes of delivery, we have peer group learning and individual study, which are very self-explanatory, as we are very familiar with. Second principle is that learning materials are based in the national curriculum standards of DepEd. Enlisted here, we could have a quick glance of the curriculum development in the Philippine elementary schools. PRODED, the first one, or the Program for Decentralized Education, a 4-year program from 1982 to 1985 of the Ministry of Education and Culture addressed to the needs of the elementary sector. Then we also have the NESC, or the New Elementary School Curriculum, which is an outcome-oriented and not a subject-oriented curriculum, with its main focus being on the learning process and not on the subject, and with its 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Then we have the BEC, or the Basic Education Curriculum. The one that we have right now, but enhanced as the 2002 Basic Education Curriculum was announced in Depth Order number 25 series of 2002, issued in June 17, 2002. But the actual implementing guidelines were found in Depth Order number 43 series of 2002, dated August 29, 2002. And we have the PELC, or the Philippine Elementary Learning Competencies, which is a listing of expected outcomes in the 4 phases of communication arts, namely listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Then we have the essence of education is the learning process. Do you agree? Yes, we all agree on this, no? The essence of education is the limits of its improvement. But today, as we observe, the essence of education is to get good grades by any means necessary, di ba? Have you observed that in your students too? Especially ngayon na nagmo-modules na lang sila, left unsupervised, if sa classroom nga they are into any form of cheating at their home pa kaya. So assessment here is really at stake. Its authenticity and integrity cannot be left unquestioned. Then we have education in the e-impact system encourages and develops in the children the skill to learn independently and eventually become self and lifelong learners. We hope to develop independent learners who can learn at their own pace with sense of responsibility. Then we have impact also encourages peer learning and peer mentoring as important strategies for empowering learners as active partners in the instructional process. So this is a system in which the parents and community and the students themselves collaborate and cooperate, accepting active roles with the school towards the education of the child. So what are the curriculum enhancement in this system? First, it uses audio tapes in English, science, mathematics, and Filipino, and ICT in teaching the lessons. To understand it better, let us study this description of the innovative features of this system. So, it is meant to address the issues of both access and quality by enabling schools to deliver complete levels from grade 1 to 6 despite shortage of teachers, classrooms, etc. So this is implemented in all 6 levels using the Community Learning Center. And when we say CLC, or Community Learning Center, it is a local educational institution outside the formal education system for villages or urban areas, usually set up and managed by local people to provide various learning opportunities for community development and improvement of people quality of life. What are its benefits? So we have here children in the system are reported to be more spontaneous, even inhibited in their activities and expressions. The system has helped develop among the children an intrinsic desire to learn because, as what we have mentioned a while ago, they must have this sense of responsibility manggod towards learning. And children under the system are more confident, particularly in taking tests and in interacting with visitors. Then their skills for self-study is enhanced, that even when they are absent from class due to unavoidable reasons, the children make up for it through self-study using modules. Since they were given modules, and that is self-directed. Their learning is self-directed. They're learning at their own pace. And just like what we are having today, right? The modules that we are actually giving, especially those schools who are implementing modular distance learning, like us in our school, we're expected that students are responsible towards their learning, and it is self-directed given that those are with answer keys. Then the system has developed in pupils a strong sense of responsibility and commitment to group contracting scheme. As children are given the chance to become program teachers or peer group leaders, they develop self-confidence as they experience being looked up to, obeyed, and respected. So we are developing or trying to develop among our learners program teachers, like those who are more knowledgeable ones than those regular students, and they were being asked to look into those regular students in a way that they could also help their teacher, and they could develop among themselves a feeling of being respected and being obeyed and such. Then we have the implementation scheme or school type. For E-Impact, we have CLC as what I've mentioned kanina, and spaces for for small group learning like kiosks for levels 1 to 6. So we make use of spaces for small group learning, like kiosks and sheds that can be easily built by the local community within school premises with the modular instructional materials or MIMS. Then the means is the modular instructional materials or MIMs. So this is the instrument. They were given modules. In the scheme, the child may go through each module individually or with a peer group or program teacher. In our case today, although we are having modules, but then they are not with peer groups or program teachers. We hope so, no? They were given modules to work individually in their respective homes para for their safety. We are hoping na sana di sila lumalabas and they're having this group, para mag-accomplish na kanilang mga modules. Then we have progress indicator. So progress is monitored through number of modules completed and mastered as indicated by scores in module post-test by the child. Contracting is an integral part of group learning. So they're being monitored. Depende sa kung ano yung nakukumpleto nilang number of modules, and as also evident in the scores that they could and they will got in their module post-test. The supervising personnel, who are they? We have the teacher, who are called Instructional Supervisor, and the school head as Instructional Coordinator, and we also have the IS aide or itinerant teacher and tutor. So when we say itinerant teachers, they are traveling school teachers. They are sometimes specialized to work in the trades, healthcare, or the field of special education, sometimes providing individual tutoring. Teacher is called Instructional Supervisor, while school head as Instructional Coordinator, as what I've said a while ago. As we are now on daily activities of the supervisor. First is grouping the pupils. It is his task. Then scheduling learning. Then we also have monitoring and guiding learning. There is also an itinerant teacher who takes care of the PE, arts, music, and scouting. Sila yung nag-care of nito. And we also have resource teachers. Their tasks are specializing in the subjects they're teaching to provide enhancement lessons, integrating ICT through audio, video, supplements, and through the use of computers. Then we have testing teachers who prepare the post-test, administer them, record scores, and forward them to the IS or Instructional Supervisor or the teacher. Sana ganito, to any schools who are actually having modular, because there are a lot of modules to check. Yan kasi yung struggle namin in our school. And I think I am saying this in behalf of all those who are implementing modular distance learning. Then we have the modes of instructional delivery. In group, we have program teaching, transition learning, and peer group learning. Then others include transition learning, learning through tutors, itinerant teachers, the basic skills practice like the learn, then practice and use, then skills training by community. And we also have resource persons. We could ask them to teach for those students. Then how about the school attendance in this kind of ADM? So we follow DEP and regulations in terms of attendance. And for the grade level, it is non-graded because it is set up by the family. So that's all from our report. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've learned something. If you have any questions, please drop it here in the comment box. I am so ready to answer all of it. Thank you so much. Bye bye.